At which the gentleman on the stage will be speaking to us. Then we're going to take a short break, and we were calling that the photo station and the exhibit reviewing time and the time to interface with anybody that you want to hear. And then after that, we're getting to hear from those veterans who want to speak. And we're going to pass out a sheet and an outline of what the things that we want them to cover, so that you can make contact with their outfit or them, however you become interested in their background. So I'm going to first introduce our Mayor, Bob Strom, who's done an excellent job as our mayor here. I've heard him speak at many of the civic groups here in this town. I've been given 5 names here, contact information. We need to get these questionnaires to you so you can keep in contact with us. And it's the names are...
You just raise your hand.
Carl Shell. Here he is back over here.
You want one of those, John?
Richard Knight. Where are you, Richard? Richard here? Richard Knight. An opportunity to speak. Job getting the photo taken. Anyway, so did all those cameras, guys. I never had many cameras pointed at me in all my life. There was one for each one of us up there. But let's see, Doug, you have a list of, now I'd like to see the hands of those now. There's a dozen of you, unless some of them changed their mind. There's a dozen speakers that indicated a while ago they'd like to say a few words. Who are you over here? Right here. Well, we won't start for a few minutes, but we're going to give you the list so you can have a chance to think about it a little bit. Any more on this side? How about right in here? Anybody right in here? Here's one right here. Then from right here on, who we got here on this table would like to say a few words? Yeah. Oh, right back here, Doug. Anybody else over in here? How about in the back of the room? The back of the room, there's one right there. There should be some more back there, I think. Now, those of you that have that sheet of paper, raise your hands. I'm going to recount. I don't think we got a dozen here. Raise your hands if you received a sheet of paper. Okay? 3. Oh, excuse me. Might bring some up here too. Just 3 people up here. Well, you don't remember, that's why we're giving you that sheet of paper. Right. You remember your name, don't you? Okay, well, is anybody else that want to speak that does not have the outline? Okay, now, we're going to put the old colonel on the spot here. And the staff sergeant's telling him he's going to speak first. This is Dick Jepson. He's going to introduce himself. So I think he's got the timer on himself too.
Time's up.
Can't hear you.
Might as well put
I'll time him.
Okay.
All right, my name is Dick Jepson. I was inducted in the Army in 1943 out of Hutchinson, Kansas. My military service unit was a bunch of them, but the only one I'm going to talk about is one of the 30th Infantry Division in Europe in 1944-45. Where was I located in the Battle of Bulge? Well, we were located up in the northeast part of it. The town of Malmedy. I expect you probably heard about Malmedy. I put on these speeches, I never got it done in 3 minutes. We're going to try something here, do it. Instead of telling you know, a bunch of towns we went through and all the fights we had and all that sort of thing, they're all the same, just different hills and different bullets and different, you know, different enemy out there. But you're scared as hell, and they're shooting at you, and they're scared as hell, and I'm shooting back at them. That's about what it amounts to. So, a lot of people say, well, what's it like in combat? Well, other than that, just let me tell you a few things. What do you do? There's several different types of jobs. My job as a machine gunner, most of the time, I was a messenger when I first went over. Mainly because, well, I won't go with it, I don't have time. But you aren't thinking messenger, well, that's a pretty safe job. It is, you can stay back at headquarters and in a hole, you know, but the only time you need a messenger is when the communications go out, and that's when the enemy's coming. They're shooting the hell out of them. I'm not watching. They're shooting at you, and you know, the artillery's out here, and you've got to take a message from headquarters out to the platoon or company or where you're at. And I can tell you for sure, they don't mind shooting one guy. And you pretty soon learn where you can go and where you can't without getting shot. So you learn pretty fast. I've got an axiom here, one saying we used to have: anything you can do can get you shot. That includes doing nothing. And that doesn't necessarily mean you, that means the guy with you. And if he's screwing up somehow and they find him and shoot at him, they might, you know, if it's an artillery shell, they may get you too. So you gotta have a trained individual with you who knows what's going on, or either both of you or the whole bunch can get shot up. Enemy riflemen and machine gunners, enemy tanks, enemy booby traps, anti-personnel mines, enemy artillery, and enemy air force. That's about all you have to worry about. and they don't always come in between 8 and 5 either. Penetrating the secret, can't do it. Is that they can shoot fast, they can shoot continuously for a whole lot longer time than the air-cooled machine gun with a rifle gun. But the thing about it was the weight. The tripod weighed 52 pounds. That's why I'm so short. and the gun, the barrel, the fire, the whole thing, and then the shooting weighed 42 pounds. The ammunition weighed 20 pounds a box, 2 boxes for each guy. And the riflemen always cussed us out because we didn't stay up with them. They were carrying a 9-pound rifle. So we offered to switch, but they didn't want to switch carrying stuff. There's hazard in friendly fire. You may think these guys behind you are on your side. They are on your side, but you know, they're human beings and they make mistakes. The guy who made the shell may have made a mistake. The guy who put the shell in the artillery piece or the powder, some of them had powder bags, may have miscounted. And then that's when I find it coming in my back in the field, in a foxhole or somewhere else. And we lost several people. From short fire, or from the fact that we've advanced too fast. They put in a phase line, and you don't go past that phase line until a certain time. If you go too fast, you're going to be out where they're still shooting, and you don't like that. I mean, so it happens. A lot of things happen like that. I don't think I started that thing. I'm thinking that. One way to get in. That's only the first page. Well, what else we got? I told you about the message. I told you about I was supposed to, you know, I could have gotten captured. You always see these pictures in the movie scene like or somewhere. The guy always takes the wrong turn. Well, that's smart enough. I never did take a wrong turn and wind up in the enemy line. So, you know, it seems to me I could pretty well tell where the heck, you know, the enemy was. The bullets are going this way, they're over there. And if they're going that way, then I'm going right. But, and you kind of laugh, but you can hear those things go by. both the small arms and artillery. They make the,
Okay, if I start the clock now?
I don't care. I don't like anything off anyhow, so. We kept on going. Well. My second job was then which I took over, not in a very happy situation. The Germans fired 188 round. That's about a shell about this big around, about that long. They go faster than you can speak, or faster than you can run, faster than about anything. Most of them were on tanks that were shooting at me, and the tank could be half a mile away. And the shell would hit me or hit my area before I heard the cannon go off. That's how fast it was. Faster than sound by much. After about 1,000 yards, well then you finally hear the bang boom. That's about how quick it comes. When the booms are much louder. I'll tell you another feeling you get. If the artillery lands close to you, you'll suck the wind, suck the air right out of your lungs. I mean, it's got to be close, but those sure don't. And because I picked that up pretty quick. Fall out here, they don't bother you, but you can get on the edge of the foxhole pretty close to it. And those doggone things are just, when they puff you up, but I never did feel the puff up, I guess, or what you call it, expansion. But boy, I feel I could feel the air going out. So that's my own feeling. Oh, you haven't got that started yet? Well,
Now, it's time.
huh?
It's time. We'll all get 5 minutes.
Oh, I can go talk. All right.
We're going to have a question and answer session afterwards, and we're going to have, and Dick will be here and be able to answer any questions that you want. Do you have any last comments? Next, Bill Saul from Junction City. Please welcome Bill.
I've heard Dick Jackson, Bill Stahl from Junction City. We've got a couple others from Junction here. We've got Carl Snell over here, and we got Freddie Stevie, who now lives in Wamego, but he was on our football team that won the league in 42, wasn't it? Yeah. And is there somebody back there?
Henry's are.
Oh, Harlan Henry. That's right. Yeah. So there's a few of us around here. That's in God's country, you know. Now, where's the list? Okay. I was born and raised in Jackson City. Still live there. Practiced law for 55 years. Never made a penny all the time. I was in the 106th Infantry Division, K Company of the 422nd. I was a POW, captured on the 19th, which is the 4th day, when our 2 battalion commanders decided that since we were out of ammunition and food, why there wasn't anything else we could do but give up. And John Mock over here from Eureka is the only other 106 that I know this here. So we're kind of special, we know. There. And John's wife's a veteran too. I didn't know that till today. Good. Oh, I didn't know what you were a veteran of. All right. Okay, 106th Infantry was right in the middle. The 99th was on our left, and on the right was the 29th, and they just about wiped out all 3 divisions. Let's see. What the heck wrote this thing? Oh, interesting experience. Went across the English Channel, some little boat. They threw your duffel bags up on someplace where we couldn't reach them. Anyway, when we got over on the other side, found out that my duffel bag and one other duffel bag was missing. And that's about the first time I ever saw the first sergeant. He said, well, either you find them in the next 30 minutes or you're going to take slick trenches across all of Germany. And I think I did. Quite a few of them, really. A lot of slick trenches. I became an expert in it. That's all right. That joke failed too. All right.
What is foxhole?
That's where you go to the toilet. Where you go to the
Oh,
toilet.
yeah. Drop your drawers. And
Sorry, Dad.
you want to practice? Or if you were a private or PFC, and I think most of us were, you had to go out on a work camp after you were a POW for 30 days. I was sent out to 4B from 4B. 4B was a big, huge place, but 4B, you did anything they wanted you to. But we got bombed just about every night at the end of the war. But it really didn't make too much difference as long as we knew that they were on our side. Maybe they didn't know it, but we did. About, how much time have we got? 30 seconds, okay. About, 5 years ago, my wife and I decided we'd go to Italy. And I hadn't been in a hospital. Even when I was a POW, I wasn't in a hospital. The day before we left, I did end up in the hospital. The doctor came in the next morning and said, have you been operated on your right nose? No. And I got thinking, it was when I was a POW, one of the guards took his rifle and just whacked me upside the head. But he says, now I've got another perfect hole in my head, so that's my story. And I'm stuck with it. I still live in Junction City, and anybody over there, come on out and see us. Thank you. Appreciate you coming out.